Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Coastline Sports Talk. We got Jonah with us again. Jonah, it's a great day, isn't it? How you doing, bud?
Yeah, great day to be talking sports with you, Dylan.
Yes, we're doing a live NFL mock draft. So we're going 1 through 32. Jonah has the odd picks, I have the even, and it's going to be a great day. We're talking all the prospects in the draft, who we think the teams are going to take, and who the main teams that we cover will describe their pick in general. So let's start things off with Jonah. You have the odd pick. So the Cleveland Browns are on the clock. Who's being drafted?
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns take Sam Darnold
Yes,
out of USC.
Sam Darnold, the quarterback. They say, is one of the most proven quarterbacks in this draft class. He has good arm strength and accuracy, and that's what you look for. He threw a couple interceptions last year. He actually threw a lot of them, but it comes with growing pains. He didn't play too well against Notre Dame on that Saturday night, but sometimes, Leonard Fournette struggled against Alabama every season, and he's already had a good NFL career to start off. So you never know, just one game. So, yeah, good pick, Sam Darnold. Now I'm on the clock with the second pick, the New York Giants. And I think that with the second pick in the NFL draft, the New York Giants select Saquon Barkley, running back out of Penn State.
Okay, that means I'm up. I'm third pick, and I'm the New York Jets. So let's structure it this way. In the 2018 NFL Draft, the New York Jets take Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen. Yeah, that's a good fit being in New York because he's known to be a ritzy kind of guy. He's not like a talk about me, I'm going to prove it to you, but he did have a good old press conference saying in high school he was the number 2 and there was always someone better than him, and he ended up being the best. And when he went to college, there was another guy that was in front of him, and he said that he is the best, but he was always number 2. And he said, I'm going to do the same thing in this draft class. Yeah, Baker Mayfield, he's a loud guy. Sam Darnold, yeah, he might get the attention, but I'm still going to be standing at the end of this. And that's what you look for in a leader and a quarterback for a franchise. All right, now we go number 4 to the Browns. The Browns already have Sam Darnold on their roster. So now I believe they will address the defense, and in the fourth pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Bradley Chubb, defensive end at North Carolina State.
Yeah, good pick, Dylan, right there. Browns have 2 of the top 4 picks. I think this is their year to, not make the playoffs, obviously, but at least make improvements and get better.
Yeah, get a little better on that defense. They took Myles Garrett last year at number 1, so that defensive line can get a little better, actually a lot better if they get Bradley Chubb. So now you're on the clock with the Broncos.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos take Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, the third quarterback off the board, all of the top 3 have gone. Some can argue Baker Mayfield's in that category, but the top 3 prospects are all gone in the top 5. And Josh Allen to the Broncos is honestly the best fit for him, I believe, because he has weapons like Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. He doesn't have that good of a run game, saying they released C.J. Anderson, but they can always improve that later on in the draft. There's guys like Darius Geis and all those other guys like Sony Michel, Nick Chubb, all that stuff. Josh Adams, if you want to go there. But, yeah, so I believe that fits him well. He's got the weapons, he's got the thin air, and he's got the best arm in the draft, hands down, at the combine or at his pro day. I forget which one. He threw a ball 60-some yards just in the air, just whipped it out and just gunned it. And that's what you look for in a prospect guy like Josh Allen. So now, the 6th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select offensive guard Quentin Nelson from Notre Dame. We talked about him in our other NFL podcasts with when we were discussing the Buccaneers having a shot at drafting him. If you want more insight on him, go back and listen to that podcast. He is really good. He's a really good offensive lineman. He's can block. He's smart, and that's what you look for. He'll run off to the side. He'll bop people, and he'll do anything on the offensive line.
Okay. In the 7th, we have Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Buccaneers select Derwin James out of Florida State.
Yeah, that's a good pick. We talked about him earlier as well. And going to the Buccaneers, let's expand on that, saying that fans, including us, enjoy watching the Buccaneers, saying that they are on the coast. And yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting Derwin James, a guy that lived an hour away from Tampa. That's really cool, getting him a hometown party. He went to college in Florida State, so yeah, that would be awesome. Some say Minka Fitzpatrick here, maybe, but if they want hometown, homegrown Derwin James, then that's their best pick. Some have James better than Fitzpatrick. I am one of those guys. So, yeah, Derwin James, good pick. Now at the 8th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Denzel Ward, the cornerback out of Ohio State. We talked about him also. Third guy in a row we've talked about the Buccaneers getting a shot at drafting. But this is the Chicago Bears. They draft him at number 8. He is the fastest guy in the draft. He has blazing speed. He can cover well. He tackles decently. And, yeah, he's a good cornerback. He can help on their special teams. Imagine him and Tariq Cohen returning kicks. How about that?
Yeah, I agree with you. So we're going to kick it to the Niners now. And in the 2018 NFL Draft, with the 9th pick, the 49ers select Harold Landry out of Boston College.
Wow, that's a good pick for them. Because, there's Harold Landry, he can flex out, he can be a defensive end, and he can be a linebacker. With the situation going on with Reuben Foster, I believe he hit his girlfriend, and they said that if it comes out to be true, then he will be released. And he was their first-round pick last year, Reuben Foster, the linebacker out of Alabama, I believe. And yeah, so he hasn't had a good start to his NFL career. Some believe they might have gone with Tremaine Edmonds or Roquan Smith. But still, yeah, whenever you get a guy like Harold Landry, his ability to flex to different positions is really what you want to look for in a prospect of his level. So now we have the Oakland Raiders on the clock, and they need a little bit of help on the pass rushing end. So I believe they will, with the 10th pick in the NFL 2018 draft, the Oakland Raiders select Marcus Davenport, defensive end. And Davenport, I believe that he is the second best edge rusher in this draft, second to Bradley Chubb, because Chubb is just a freak of nature. So yeah, Marcus Davenport, he's a good football player, and he'll help that John Gruden Oakland Raiders defense out. So now the Dolphins are on the clock.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins, with the 11th pick, select Roquan Smith out of Georgia.
Yeah, that is great because Roquan Smith, he's a good prototype linebacker.
Yes.
He'll always be there in big time situations, as he proved in college and Georgia, I believe. And he stops the run well, he covers well, and he hits you. And that's a prototype for an NFL linebacker. He's really good. He's got okay speed, and yeah, he should really help out the Dolphins really well. Some believe that they might have gone Baker Mayfield at quarterback here, but some do not. And whenever you can get a defensive guy as good as Roquan Smith, you just got to jump on it immediately. Yeah, with the 12th pick in the NFL draft, the Buffalo Bills select Baker Mayfield, quarterback who won the Heisman out of Oklahoma.
Yeah, a quarterback that can run as well as throw. He's got a strong arm. I like him to maybe not be great his first year, but definitely improve and maybe be a second-year guy that's taking his team to the playoffs.
Yeah, I believe he's very similar to Carson Wentz with his dual threat ability, his arm strength, and his fiery play. And exactly what happened with Carson Wentz is he had that okay first season, and then he just blasted off in his second year. So now with the 13th pick, the Redskins are on the clock.
And with the 13th pick, the Redskins select Minkah Fitzpatrick out of Alabama.
That's a great pick. He's sitting there for him, giving him good spot for the taking right there. And Minkah Fitzpatrick, if he falls that far, that'd be a gem for the Redskins. Some believe that he will fall that far because some just like Derwin James better. But yeah, Minkah Fitzpatrick, the safety at Alabama, and he's had a great career at Alabama. And whenever you turn on the TV on Saturday, when you think Alabama, you see Minkah Fitzpatrick everywhere. And that's a good player. And you got him really well with the 13th pick to the Redskins. So, yeah, that's pretty good. So now the Green Bay Packers are on the clock. So with the 14th pick in the NFL draft, the Green Bay Packers select Josh Jackson, the cornerback.
I love that pick.
Yeah, he'll give them some help at the corner position, which they struggled at last year. And they traded Demarius Randall to the Browns, and I believe he might have been a safety and corner. You could flex him out a little bit, but yeah, I think Josh Jackson here makes a lot of sense for the Packers, and hopefully he will get off to a good career if they select him.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals take Jaire Alexander, a cornerback from Louisville.
Yeah, Jaire Alexander, he is really good. And I believe the Jaguars were hoping he would fall to 29th, but regardless, he's a good cornerback. He's capable of going top 15, and that's where he went directly at 15. And he's really good, so hopefully it'll help him out a little bit, and that's good for them. So now, with the 16th pick in the NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select DJ Moore, the wide receiver out of Maryland. And whenever you see a guy like DJ Moore, he's from Maryland, and now he's playing for Baltimore. So that's really cool to see another hometown coming home party thing. And he's really good, so hopefully he'll fit their prototype of lack of wide receiver the past couple of years. And they have Crabtree now, along with, what's his name? Willie Snead. And now they can throw DJ Moore in the mix on top of guys that they've had in the past. So yeah, really good for the Ravens. And now the Chargers are on the clock.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers take Vita Vea.
Wow. That's a good pick. I can't believe he fell. But honestly, Vita Vea, he has the weirdest name I've ever heard. It's super long, and he's really good. We talked about him in a past broadcast. He's a guy that he just shreds you. He's a nose tackle, D tackle, whatever it is. He'll get in the backfield and he'll blow you up. He is a strong defensive tackle. So now with the 18th pick in the NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Mike McGlinchey, the offensive tackle out of Notre Dame. He'll help their offensive line really well. A line that struggled ever since trading Max Unger for Jimmy Graham. They traded for Orlando Brown, or not Orlando Brown. They traded for Dwayne Brown, the guy from Houston. So I believe Mike McGlinchey will help out their offensive line, and maybe they can establish something there in Seattle.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dylan. And we're going to move on to the 19th pick. The Cowboys have it, and here it goes. In the 2018 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Will Hernandez from University of Texas at El Paso.
Yeah, that's already a good line right there. And when you add a guy like Will Hernandez, it's really good. He's a strong guard, and that's really good for the Cowboys team. Some believe they might have went receiver after releasing Des Bryant, but still, offensive line gives Dak Prescott some time to buy some time and gives Ezekiel Elliott some time to run the football. With the 20th pick in the NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker out of Boise State. He's a strong physical guy. This linebacker class is known to be not that deep, but the top 3 or 4 guys are really, really good. After that, it's not that good. They have another linebacker is, I think, Raheem Evans, something like that. He's the linebacker from Alabama. And then, of course, the other linebacker that could be considered the 5th best is Shaquem Griffin, the guy with one arm. So, yeah, Leighton Vander Esch is good for the Lions. What do you think the Bengals will do?
With the 20, well, I should clear up. This pick is from the Buffalo Bills, but it is the Bengals picking.
Yes.
And in the 2018 draft with the 21st pick, the Cincinnati Bengals pick James Daniels out of Iowa.
Yeah, James Daniels. I had him going to the Saints in my mock draft, but yeah, James Daniels, he's a really good football player. And the Bengals need some help. They really do, because their team had so much potential a couple years ago, and it's just sort of faded, it seems like. So, yeah, James Daniels, he can help them out a little bit. So now we head to the Bills. With the 22nd pick in the NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Courtland Sutton, wide receiver out of SMU. He's a tall, vertical guy. We talked about him. Maybe the Jaguars getting him as an Allen Robinson replacement. Mercedes Lewis on NFL Network the other day said that he believes the Jaguars will take him due to the release of all the wide receivers and himself included. But I don't think he's going to be there. He's such a good talent. The Bills need help after making the trade for Kelvin Benjamin, and I believe he plays just as good as Kelvin Benjamin. So, yeah, he'll go up and get it, and that's 2 guys there that can stick a guy in the slot, and it's pretty good over there in Carolina. So, at the 23rd, it's the Patriots.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots, a pick from Los Angeles Rams, take Colton Miller out of UCLA.
Yes, Colton Miller, he's a good tackle, I believe. And he's a guy that, when you watch him at UCLA, he really, I don't know if this is nice enough to say, but he made Josh Rosen look good. He blocked for him really well, and he just did his job. And it's helped him become a first-round pick as well. So he's really good, and that's what we look for in a guy that has that much potential. With the 24th pick in the NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Sam Hubbard, defensive end out of Ohio State. And Sam Hubbard, when you watch him go ahead.
On to the Tennessee Titans, and in the 2018 NFL Draft, with the 25th pick, the Tennessee Titans take safety Justin Reed out of Stanford.
Yes, he is a good safety, and that's what Justin Reed, he's a guy that looks really good on tape. He can play all. You know when he's on the field because he is a true professional, and I believe he will look good in the Titans. So with the 26th pick, the Atlanta Falcons select tight end Mike Gesicki. He's really good. He led Penn State in receiving, and he will do really well in Atlanta. Maybe he can reinvent a better version of Austin Hooper. And yeah, he's pretty good.
With the 27th pick in the NFL draft, the New Orleans Saints take tight end Hayden Hurst. He's out of South Carolina, and he's. I'm just going to read a small quote from him, if you will let me.
Yes,
Dylan.
Feel free.
I understand now what it's like to be at the bottom, he told Bleacher Report, because South Carolina is not usually known for their football team.
Yeah, they've had a few guys like. Most notable Jadeveon Clowney, but other than that, it's been random guys. But anyway.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I think he knows what it feels like to be on, not top tier teams, and I think he'll fit well with the Saints.
Yes, and ever since they lost Jimmy Graham, they really needed some help at tight end. So. Yeah, hopefully Hayden Hurst will do the job. He made a nice one-handed catch at South Carolina. I believe it's one of the best catches I've seen all of last season. And yeah, he's a good player, and hopefully he will help out their offense. So now with the 28th pick in the NFL draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they select Lamar Jackson, the quarterback out of Louisville. He won the Heisman in 2016. And this is crazy. We have two guys that have won Heismans in the draft. I just now thought of this. We got Lamar Jackson in 2016, and we got Baker Mayfield in 2017. That just shows you how good our quarterback draft class is this year, because Lamar Jackson fell this far. And that's interesting.
All right, Dylan, on to the 29th pick. Jacksonville Jaguars select Isaiah Wynn, a guard out of Georgia.
That's a great pick, because I had Isaiah Wynn going 21st to the Bengals. But yes, whenever you have a guy like Isaiah Wynn, he's a tear-it-up guard. He can play guard and tackle. And the Jaguars, they've needed help. They had Jeremy Parnell, who played well last year, but he can't stay healthy to save his life. They have A.J. Cann, who he's a good guard, but he can always improve. And if you bring in a guy like Isaiah Wynn, it'll push him for his job. We just signed Andrew Norwell, and we have Cam Robinson and Brandon Linder, so yeah, that'd be really good for our offensive line if we take a guy like Isaiah Wynn. So now with the 30th pick in the NFL draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Orlando Brown, the offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. The Vikings struggled on their offensive line for the past couple of years, and it's time to make a change. So I believe they will address that position, and I think Orlando Brown's the guy.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots, with the 31st pick, take quarterback Mason Rudolph out of Oklahoma State.
That hurts. That's a good pick. I believe Mason Rudolph is the most underrated quarterback, almost underrated player in this draft, because his pocket awareness is really well. I saw him play one game last year. I watched one Oklahoma State game, and he hit the wide receiver James Washington on a deep ball. And his vision as a quarterback is one of the best, I think, in this draft class. So maybe if he falls a little bit, you never know what can happen.
And the Patriots didn't even think they'll be in this spot because they had Jimmy Garoppolo,
and Jacoby Brissett.
That trade last year, they had to fill in eventually when Tom Brady has to retire.
Yeah, and they also had Jacoby Brissett to start off the year. He did pretty good as I guess you could say, backup / starter in Indianapolis. So yeah, with the 32nd pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Dallas Goedert. He is the tight end out of South Dakota State, North Dakota State, whichever one. And he's a good player. He'll go up and get it. He reminds me a lot of Rob Gronkowski. He's a physical guy. He doesn't wear the arm sleeve, though. But, yeah, he's a good guy. So hopefully the Eagles will take him, and it will fit fill the void left by Brent Selleck and Trey Burton. Well, that'll wrap it up for today. I hope you guys had a good time listening. Jonah, thanks for joining me as always.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and hopefully we see what moves the teams make tonight in the draft, and hopefully ours is 100% correct. So, yeah, that would be pretty cool if it was. So, thank you for joining us, and have a good day, everybody.